Ellen Mallory here. Today I want to dive into a topic that touches on every home, on every generation, and affects everyone at one point in their lives. The slow disintegration of family relationships, or the slow breakdown of family relationships. What really makes family to fall apart? Mulikuwa tu sawa and then suddenly things shift. What really causes that? Is it the financial strain? Is it pride and ego among members of the family? Or is it just the pressure of the modern society? There are very many things that makes family fall apart. For example, two people who were at one point head over heels with each other. They were so in love, yani walikuwa wanapendana, oh my god. And then suddenly they just become strangers living in the same under the same roof. So it really causes that. So stay with me as I try to explore the silent habits, the emotional wounds that people have, and the everyday choices that leads to the breakdown of these family bonds. And most importantly, what should be done to foster reconnection, trust, and understanding before it's too late. We have, for example, poor communication. Unafika tu mahali you don't want to talk to anyone in the family. And that is why nowadays you see most of the people cutting ties, especially with their parents. Someone says, Mimi, I don't want to talk to my mom, I don't want to talk to my dad, I don't want to ever talk to my sister. And then you're like, why? Believe me, there are reasons. There are always reasons behind those sentences, and I'll never judge anyone for saying such a thing. Because before someone says such a word, there's always a background story to what necessitated this person to say that. Let's say you are just communicating with this parent of yours when you are young, and then it reached a time the communication just stopped, and maybe you felt like he or she was not understanding you, or they easily judged you while growing up. So to shield your emotions, you stop communicating, or they stop communicating to shield their emotions. It works both ways. So poor communication leads to resentment among family members at the end of the day, because now people go silent, and when people go silent, it can be treated as understanding. Your parent has told you something, but because you don't want to argue, because you feel like if you have a conversation with them, it will result to an argument. So what do you decide to do? You decide to just go MIA, quiet, silent. And then they see you're silent and they think that you have understood them. And it's not the case. You're just trying to protect yourself from all the emotional toxicity. So that silence has replaced understanding in today's society. Because people fear their conversations leading to an argument, and thus the breakdown of communication in the family, eventually leading to disintegration of the family ties. Another thing you can say, financial strain. For example, you got into a relationship without really discussing the bills, the finances. You didn't put your finances in order. You didn't discuss who is going to pay for that rent, who is going to pay for that school fees. Uliingia tu na mapenzi yote and all that. We didn't think and just have a sit down to discuss the finances in your family. And what does this do? It leads to build-up of anger issues, and you even resent your partner. You feel like they're not supporting you enough. So the financial strain in the family can lead to disintegration at the end of the day because of that tension in the household, especially when it comes to bills payment. And with this economy, it is strenuous. So if you don't put that in order and communicate openly about money, I know very many people don't like discussing about money, but believe me, it is one of the major foundations of a family. You need to have discussions of those conversations that are serious, and finances is one of them. Let's say now, aside from poor financial strain and poor communication, we have now the robust influence of technology. Mtoto wako ametoka shule. After homework, what does your kid do? Stares on the screen to watch cartoon. You, the parent, you're just on your phone or your laptop working. And what happens? You forget to build that connection with your child. unasahau kuongea naye. The more you talk to your child, the more you learn about them, and they learn about you. It is a two-way traffic. It's a two-way thing. Mkaongelea traffic, then I remember fuel prices are high. Oh my god. So you need to talk to your child. The internet and the technology, and it's just robust out there, and people are consuming it to excess. People don't have the limits. When do you say enough is enough? Or when do you say, okay, you've had your time, now it's time to do this, now it's time to bond with the family? When do you have the boundary between the screen and discussing with each other in the house, or just talking? So these are just some of the things that have affected family relationships today, and there's so many. So next week, I'll still be talking about this. I'll have a few people over. We'll be looking at these toxic relationships that we have. We'll be looking at the influence of media in family relationships, poor communication, all these things that are just everything that has affected family relationships today. And I'm sure it will be a good conversation. So stay with me till next week. Tuonane. Ciao.